my good friend Iliana de los Gatos, and we are gonna have a conversation about anything, really, the outdoors. That's how I met her. I met her through a friend. I was trying to have more outdoor time, and he was like, you should hang out with Iliana, and she'll show you the great life of the outdoors. And so I did. And now I'm an outdoors girl. So Iliana, introduce yourself. Tell me, how are you? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm Iliana. I'm a Las Cruces native most of my life. I am 31 currently. I'm doing pretty well today. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Get to hang out with my friends. So.
Yeah. So Iliana is very involved in the rock climbing community, bouldering community, rope climbing community, environmental community, the cat community, the dog community, the beer community, the wine the wine community. She loves community, guys. So Iliana, tell me, how did you get started with the great outdoors? Like, what happened? How did you fall into bouldering and rope climbing and all that?
Well, outdoors has always been something my family's been super passionate about.
Okay.
You know, growing up, my parents came from Mexico, and growing up we didn't have too much.
Okay.
So a very cheap pastime for children to go spend energy and learn is always outdoors, hiking, camping. Oh, thank you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because of my parents, I definitely got involved with the outdoors. So hiking was always a priority for me.
Okay.
And later on, I had a bunch of friends in high school who ended up rock climbing.
So she did school you guys, and she would go rock climbing. No, I didn't. No. I did not promote that. Stay in school.
No, because I didn't start. I mean, I would, but I didn't start rock climbing until college.
Oh, actually, I didn't know that.
Otherwise, I would have.
So, okay. So here you are, you're in high school, and then what happens? How did you fall into like actually climbing large boulders or like giant walls? Like, how did that happen? Not walls. What would you say? Mountains? I don't know.
Rock walls.
Rock walls. You guys see? This is how illiterate I am when it comes to mountains.
Well, I had, again, a friend group who loved rock climbing and always tried to get me to go do it, but I was more of a hiker at the time. So eventually I humored them, and well, here we are, a new hobby.
Okay. And was it easy whenever you got started? Because I know whenever I got started and you introduced me, I had a super hard time, and it was really hard to like admit it because I was so happy and excited. But I had such a hard time like building just grip strength. Like my grip strength was shit. I would cry. I think I broke my nails. I think the first day that I met Iliana, she like handed me a nail clipper, and I kind of cried on the inside. I was like, what?
I just got these done.
Yeah, really. I was like, and she was like, what was that? Or like, you know, breaking all of it, or like maybe injuring my actual fingers. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll cut them. But how did you even like, I don't know, I just feel like it takes so much back strength and then so much finger strength, and like you just...
It's definitely a full body workout.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, the best way is just consistently doing it.
Consistently doing it.
Just like anything. Be consistent.
And what has the outdoors taught you, or like why do you do it? Why do you keep going back? Because every other weekend, like, you're out there, so I'm like, okay, like, she loves it. So like, what is it? What's out there that you love?
Honestly, just escaping away from like everyday, you know, monotony. Like just that 9-to-5 job, and the world is on fire currently. So when I'm outside, none of that really matters. And honestly, it's really nice to hang out with friends and challenge myself physically and mentally when rock climbing.
I will say that is something that I've gotten. So I did not boulder, I did not rock climb, but I did hike. And I always loved hiking, and I did it usually by myself or with my dog or like maybe a couple of friends. But I think since meeting you and meeting your friends, I've just learned so much about life. And then also just climbing, I think it's like a metaphor for life. It's like you just gotta keep going, but it is scary.
And it teaches you about yourself too, like how do I deal with stressful situations?
Oh yeah.
What happens when I have something that comes out of nowhere? How do I react to it?
I think like I think rope climbing is definitely it's easier, but it's scarier because you're actually like up high, and for some reason that is actually kind of hard mentally, like to look down. I'm like, fuck. And so then you're like, well, I guess I can like keep go down or go up, so you just keep going up, and then eventually you get to the top and you're like, oh fuck, now I gotta go down. But I think I've learned a lot about myself in regards to like just keeping I don't know, like just resilience or just
resilience.
like just finishing what I start, or even just being proud of like my little milestone. I think one time we bouldered and I couldn't get over like the boulder that we were bouldering, but then the second time I could, and then I went home and I cried. So I was like, I'm so proud of myself. I cry a lot, you guys. I cry a lot.
How many times have you cried today?
Once.
Oh wow.
That's funny. Yeah, once. I cried once after the podcast. I was like, I did it! I finished on my first podcast. This is podcast number 2, okay? So I'm probably gonna cry afterwards. So do you think, I don't know, are there any skills that you've learned inside rock climbing that you hope others understand or get? Or is there something, some shared lesson that you were like, I wish everyone could experience this?
I honestly have to say probably just that mental space where you're comfortable.
Okay.
I mean, it's especially when you first start, it's not necessarily the most comfortable thing, you know. For me, I know, especially rope climbing, like that height factor, trusting the person who's, you know, feeding you the rope.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
Trusting the equipment, for me, that's really hard.
Trusting the equipment. Yeah, that one's a big one. I'm like, if I die, well, if I die.
But I mean, like anything, there's always a probability or a chance of, you know, some danger involved with these things. But for me, I think a big takeaway is honestly been that mental aspect.
Okay. I think one of the really cool things that I started outdooring, I'll just call it that, during the pandemic, which was when I met Iliana. And it's when people were told to go indoors and kind of like we weren't allowed to go to the gym, or like a lot of the gyms closed down. We were wearing a lot of masks. So I remember at the time it just seemed like a really big escape. And I was exposed to nature, so I just got exposed to a lot of really bright colors, like a lot of greens and a lot of flowers. And then I know you take us out to like places where there'd be waterfalls or like creeks, and then just like feeling the water. It just was very like sensorial. Like I felt the water and I felt like the warmth of the sun, and like it was just like feeling very alive versus actually being inside like a cubby and just typing away and like hoping for the best and wearing a mask. So for me it actually became, like you said, kind of an escape, and now I'm like, oh no, this is like part of my life now. Okay, so what projects have you done? Because I know you've done several. She's a big member of the community, guys. Community. No, you are. Well, you led a women's rock climbing session.
Yeah.
Okay, well tell us about that, because I thought that was really cool.
I have a friend who actually met through hiking, and she does the New Mexico branch of Women Who Explore the Outdoors.
Okay.
So she thought it'd be really neat to get some like female-owned time in rock climbing. So it's cool. We took some people who have never rock climbed before, went out bouldering, and I think everybody had a good time. It's definitely a lot of fun in a group where you feel like, especially for a first-time sport, it's just really nice to do with a bunch of women and then everybody was very encouraging, very supporting. So I think everybody felt more comfortable that it was just close to women only, and a lot of people in the same position or just starting.
Do you think that, well, because at least I don't really know, I have not seen the sport aspect of it, because I know there are like rock climbing gyms, and I know there are people that do take it very seriously and like they do competitions. But in this area or in this field, would you say it's more male dominated or more female dominated or male led, or like?
No, I think around the area, I'm thinking of like even the friends who I climb with, it's pretty diverse.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty diverse.
So in this space I actually don't really have much experience. Like I kind of just follow your lead. And I don't plan on doing competitively. Have you ever competed?
No.
No?
That's not something that really draws me to the sport.
No?
No. For me, I think anytime with competition, it kind of just takes away the natural, organic feel of enjoyment from the activity. But that's just me. I know some people love it, and hey, that's great. It's just, personally, I use it outside of work, outside of, you know, it's kind of my little escape from my schedule, my week.
No, we got 5 more minutes.